Hello, it's a chilly morning here, and I decided to visit a friend of mine who does vermiculture. So let's see what he does. Boniface, hi.
Hi to you. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm Boniface Odunga. I am a farmer in this village called Munami, and I am doing what we call vermiculture. So vermiculture, it is raising worms. The worms that are used to decompose the organic matter are called a red wigless worm. So these worms have a characteristics. The characteristic number one is that they have a very big appetite. Number two, they reproduce very fast. Then another characteristic is that they stay on the surface of the soil. So you'll find that when they are in the soil, you see that your soil is well aerated. When you want to culture worms, you will first of all find a suitable place where they will find suitable conditions for them to survive. Number one, you'll find the bin. As for me, I decided to use a 20-liter jerry can. So for you to culture them, there is a way you have to arrange the materials in these containers so that they find a suitable conditions to survive. The first thing for me, I put coarse materials at the bottom for aeration purposes. Put the feeds, that is from kitchen refuse, living organism remains like plants, like anything that it is decomposing. When you've arranged the material in the manner that is required, you come with the feeds, then you introduce the worm, then you pour water so that to reduce the temperature in these bins. So after that, you ensure that the taps are open so that to drain water. So I'm pouring in water, and you'd find that the water just drains, and you collect that water. It is the juice. So this water, it will dissolve the nutrients that are in this bin. It will dissolve the mucus that has been produced by the worms. You find that it dissolves all nutrients that are in these bins. So you find that as it drains with the nutrients in these bins. This juice is useful to vegetable producers. You find that it acts as a fertilizer, a general fertilizer, and at the same time it controls these small pests and diseases. So when it comes to using this juice, you ensure that you dilute it. If you want to spray it as a foliar, then you dilute it with 1 part with the 10 parts of water. But if you want to drench it, you ensure that you use 1 part with 5 parts of water. After that, after 3 months or 4, you find that your material in the bin has decomposed. So you may want to use the cast, because after the worms have digested or have eaten the material, they will poop, and their poop is what we call the cast. And the cast is a manure that we are going to use on the farm. And the worms, you can still use them for decomposition, or you can sell them to fish producers or poultry producers, because they have a high protein content. So when you feed them to fish or poultry birds, especially chicken, you find that their production, their growth rate increases.
So is
they
there
are-
any other type of worms that I can use, or these type only?
These are the best.
Okay.
These are the best because of the characteristics that they possess.
Can I
They
use
feed very fast.
Can I use the normal earthworms that we find maybe at the riverbanks or in swamps?
Yeah, to some extent you may use, but the disadvantage of them is that when you introduce them into a bin like this, they will stay, they will move downwards. So you'll find that they don't decompose the materials that you've placed in, or it will take a lot of time. Then they multiply slowly. Then the ones that are found on the riverbanks, they are easily break. So when you touch them, or when, for example, you may want to incorporate this material in this bin, you'll find that those one, when you press them, you'll find that they may be cut off.
Okay.
Yes, but this one, they are hardy and thrive in harsh conditions
Okay.
as compared to those found on the riverbanks.
Right.
So this one are hardy, those ones are not hardy.
So how many worms did you start with, maybe?
With this, I started with one jerrycan. I only used half a kg
Half a kg of the worms?
of worms.
Okay, so did you buy the worms or are they sold?
Yes,
How did you
I
get
bought them. I bought them at 1,700 shillings.
Okay.
That is a half kg. So I started with that one. That's why you can see I've cultured them. Now I want to start the composting process.
Okay.
Yes.
So
In fact, they are very expensive. If you want a kilo goes at 2,500.
So are these the worms' eggs or?
These are the eggs, call them cocoons. Yes. So you'll find that in one cocoon they are around 8 to 10 worms.
Okay. So you just put inside here food residue from the kitchen.
Kitchen
Kitchen
remains,
residue.
any organic matter, agroforestry leaves.
Okay.
Yes, or
Even the jackfruit.
yes, jackfruit. You find, in fact, these worms, they like ugali, they like watermelon, they like avocado, and they like jackfruits.
Okay.
So they enjoy when you introduce their such like materials.
Okay. So this is ready
Yeah.
for use.
It is ready. It is ready for use. So in the next season, I may be using some. In fact, I harvested the first one, and I've used them and making those
The vertical
vertical
gardens.
gardens. Yes.
So I can see some ants inside here.
Yes, we
Don't
have.
they bite the worms or eat
Yes,
or feed on the worms?
We have the pests that normally affect this culture. For example, the safari ants, they normally feed on the worms. We have lizards, we have birds. So you'll come up with a mechanism on how to prevent the pests.
So how do you do that? How do you control the pests?
So for like the safari ants, when I spot them,
Yes.
the safari ants, I normally use the ash. I come with the ash, I just put them around
Okay.
so that
On the ground?
on the ground.
Okay.
Or I look for the Mexican marigold because the scent normally repels them.
Okay.
Yes. And for the birds, I normally cover my bins
Okay.
with the polythene sheets or bags, so that the birds should not see the worms and feed on them.
Okay.
Yes, and sometimes normally just like the lizards, I just chase them manually or even kill them, though it's not advisable.
No.
So, so I normally monitor my bees regularly,
Yes.
find if there is any pests.
Okay.
Yes.
So the worms don't bite.
The worms are friendly.
Okay.
These are friendly livestock. So you can just look at them.
Wow.
There are a
Wow.
lot.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. They're so big.
They're big, they're
My
healthy.
God. I think I'm loving the whole procedure in vermiculture thing. Since you use the vermiculture here, or is it the cast that you use for your vertical garden?
Now when we come to this vertical garden, this is a conical garden. This we call them conical gardens.
Okay, not vertical.
They are vertical, as you can see, because they, yes, but they have a specific name called cone, because they are cone-like. So here, I took the casts to come and prepare them. So I mixed the casts with the, I had also a hot compost, and I also had a cold compost. So I mixed the compost with the soil. So here I planted the red creole onions and the giant managu. So with that, after they have germinated, I'll be using that juice to spray as a foliar feed and also as a pesticide. So these beds, I'll manage them organically. There's nothing synthetic that will be incorporated onto these beds.
Okay, so did you use the vermiculture or the cast on those, what do we call, spider plants over there?
Yes, with this spider plant, this one, when planting, I just broadcasted them here because I had burnt charcoal at this place. So I never wanted to leave it to be unused. That's why I came broadcasted the spider plants here. Then after germination, I came with the juice. Now to spray as a foliar feed at that process. Yes.
Right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next video.